Module overview. Design is not merely the arrangement of visual components, it is the evocation of experience. In this module, we immerse you in three essential yet often underestimated elements of design: texture, space, and value. These three elements are crucial to creating depth, realism, visual hierarchy, and tactile resonance, whether in physical or digital design. This module extends beyond surface-level understanding by unpacking the scientific, psychological, functional, and cultural dimensions of texture, space, and value. You will develop a keen sense of how to simulate, manipulate, and balance these elements to enhance clarity, engagement, and emotion in design. Whether one is designing a print poster, a product package, a 3D rendered object, a fashion piece, or a website interface, mastery of these three elements is vital for building dimension, expressing mood, and guiding perception. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to define and distinguish between actual and implied texture in both 2D and 3D design. Understand the role of space, positive and negative, in composition and perception. Apply concepts of value, lightness, darkness, to build form, contrast, and emphasis. Use texture, space, and value to guide the viewer's attention and reinforce mood. Analyze and apply spatial strategies like perspective, foreshortening, and proportion. Incorporate these elements to create a sense of depth, realism, and tactile quality. Texture, the tactile voice of design. Texture refers to the surface quality of an object. In design, it plays both a functional and aesthetic role, influencing how a viewer feels about what they see. Types of texture. Actual, tactile, texture. Physically felt, e.g., fur, sandpaper, embroidery. Visual, implied, texture. Created visually through patterns, shading, photography, or digital tools to simulate the appearance of texture. Functions of texture. Adds realism and sensory interest, enhances emotional tone, e.g., rough texture equals ruggedness, distress. Emphasizes or contrasts focal areas, creates style and branding tone, e.g., luxury equals soft velvet textures, tech equals sleek metal or glass. Techniques: cross-hatching, stippling, layering, digital texturing. Use of patterns and repetition to imply consistent surfaces. Industry applications: graphic design, backgrounds, logos, packaging. Interior design: surfaces like wood, fabric, tiles. Fashion: material textures influencing silhouette and appeal. Web and UI: simulated textures for buttons, backgrounds, UX cues. Space: arrangement, depth, and dimension. Space in design refers to the area around, between, and within objects. It determines how elements relate, how focal points emerge, and how balance is achieved. Types of space. Positive space, the subject or object in a composition. Negative space, the background or space around the object. White space, a design technique using negative space purposefully for clarity and elegance. Spatial techniques. Overlapping establishes foreground/background relationships. Placement on the page. Elements higher on the page tend to recede. Linear perspective, 1-point, 2-point, 3-point perspective. Atmospheric perspective, lighter, duller tones, implied distance. Scale and proportion, larger equals closer, smaller equals distant. Design principles, influenced by space, balance, symmetrical or asymmetrical use of space. Rhythm, repetition of elements in space. Focus, directing the eye through spatial hierarchy. Cultural nuances. In Western cultures, open space often suggests minimalism or modernity. In Japanese design, ma-jian refers to space between elements as an intentional, meditative void. Value, light and shadow as form builders. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color or tone. It is essential for defining form, creating contrast, and guiding emotional responses. Value scale ranges from pure white to absolute black, with varying mid-tones, commonly used in black and white photography and grayscale illustration. Role of value establishes depth and form through shading and modeling, enhances contrast and readability, helps with visual hierarchy by drawing attention to high contrast zones, influences mood, high key equals light, airy, low key equals dark, dramatic. Techniques: chiaroscuro, dramatic light-dark contrast, gradient mapping and value grouping in digital design, shading techniques in drawing, blending, stippling, cross-hatching, value in color design. Even color has value. Navy is darker in value than sky blue. Important in UI design for accessibility, e.g. text background contrast. Concept integration and practical use. These three elements are interdependent. Texture can be emphasized by light, value. Space can be created using shadow and perspective, value and texture. The combination leads to sophisticated, emotionally rich, and communicatively powerful designs. Studio exercises and applied practice create a grayscale drawing using only value to suggest form, no outlines. Photograph 3 objects emphasizing their texture under different lighting. Design a typographic poster using negative space creatively to form letters. Render a cube using value changes and texture to imply realism. Key takeaways. Texture connects to our sense of touch, even in 2D works. Space defines the relationship between elements, establishing rhythm, focus, and harmony. Value is essential for light, contrast, and dimensional illusion. Together, these elements transform flat images into dynamic experiences.